Hey, it's David Bronstein, king of late night TV, the YouTube star of the world. There's only one star, and that's me, David Bronstein. And just ask David Bronstein. I believe our lovely, wonderful, fantastic President Donald Trump. He is P.T. Barnum. He's a showman. He knows how to play you all. It's unbelievable. He's the greatest. We should all learn from him. I always said you gotta love billionaires. How can you not love a billionaire? He's a billionaire. But God gave you 125 years. He said, what do you want to do with the next 125 years? And President Donald Trump said, I'd like to be a billionaire. And then he became a billionaire. God said, what else do you want to do? He said, I want to be president of the United States. And he became president of the United States. Because you can do anything you want. As Jim Rohn says, if you live in the United States, you can do anything you want. The United States, Canada, a democratic society, like Syria, the Gaza Strip, you could do anything you want. So here's this fantastic guy, became a billionaire. Then everyone's hollering at him. He's terrible, he's horrible, he's no good, he lies. It's unbelievable. Because everyone's jealous. What else could it be? The fact you take the time to complain about our president shows you what you're doing all day. You know why you don't see Lamborghini commercials on television? Lamborghini, Ferrari, Aston Martins. You know why? Rolls Royce. You know why you don't see those commercials on television? Because the players that can afford Lamborghinis and Rolls Royce and Aston Martins, they're not watching television. They're hustling all day to live a lifestyle and become billionaires. You get it? Those players are not on Facebook complaining. Everybody's so emotional. I think the whole world's Jewish. I just read an article. They're all complaining about President Bush. Is that who's in power now, President Bush? Well, President Trump met with Putin. They had a discussion. Nobody was in that room, but they're all telling you what they said. It's the stupidest thing I ever heard. Were you in the room with them? You only know what the press says. And as President Trump just said today, he had a great meeting with President Putin, Vladimir Putin. He had a great meeting, except what the fake news is telling you. Now, how can you not go along with that? We only know what the press is telling us. We only know, but the press wasn't even there. They can make whatever they want to say. It's true. The press writes about me all the time. They say things I never even said. They say things like, I don't know what the hell they say. The point is, yesterday the press said, President Trump said that he doesn't believe Russia had anything to do with the election. Today he's saying, I never said that. And then everyone jumps to whatever the press says, and you have no idea what the hell's going on. It's so dumb. You're falling for the bullshit. Were you there at the meeting? You don't know what they were talking about. If you didn't read the newspaper, if it wasn't in the newspaper, would you know what the hell's going on? You would have no idea what's going on. Here's what's going on. You get up every morning, thank God. You could do whatever you want. Go to the movies, read books, go to Broadway shows, go to the beach, go to the Atlantis, go to Las Vegas, do whatever you want. What do you care what the hell our president is doing? Thank God you live in a free country. There's not bombs coming around here. You know, people live in Israel. Every morning they get up, they hear air raid sirens. Is that how you live, with air raid sirens? Do you know how lucky you are if you live in the United States or Canada or a democratic society? Appreciate what you have. Thank God that you have a billionaire who's a president, a billionaire. And he's telling it like it is. He's telling whatever he wants to say, he says. It's fantastic. That's why he got elected. People can't believe how dare he get elected. He got elected because he wanted to get elected. The whole point is, you could become president of the United States. Anybody can. President Donald Trump, you gotta call him president. He deserves that because he won. He won. He actually took the time to be president and he won. He beat out politicians. Everyone has an expertise. Donald Trump's not a politician. He's a business guy. He's a real estate magnate, titan mogul. He's a casino mogul. He rolls the dice and he wins. He said, what do I want to do now? I built a bunch of buildings, I built a bunch of casinos. I'd like to be president. And then he became president. He did what he had to do. You read his book, he says you can say whatever you set your mind to, you could do. He said, I want to be president. He became president. So he's having these great meetings. He put Korea together, went to meet with Korea. Anyone ever meet with Korea, have peace with Korea in 100 billion years? Anyone ever he got peace with Korea? He's not even a politician. Then he goes to meet with Russia. He said, look, we're getting a bad deal with all these tariffs, with all this NATO, whatever the hell he's talking about. He's talking about like a regular guy, like a regular Joe. And the politics, how dare you, how could you, we can't believe that it's horrible. What's everyone getting so upset about? They all holler and scream, then they go to their high-end restaurants, then they go to their beach houses, then they go to their gated communities. It's the dumbest thing I ever saw. Instead of being thankful that what a life they're leading, what a life they have, they're all complaining. You know what they're complaining about? They're not president. That's what they're complaining about. This dumbest thing. Do you know what the hell's going on in Washington? A lot of meetings are going on. Meetings in Senate and Congress. Are you there? You only know what the press is telling you. That's all you know. So you read what the press is telling you. Look, in 1930, 38, 39, when Orson Welles said the Martians are coming, did a radio broadcast called War of the Worlds. The Martians are coming. What did you all do? You ran out of the windows, you jumped out of windows. You went nuts. You really thought the Martians were coming. I told Lauren in the 70s, 1975, 76, 77, the television show on, about the Martians were coming. They had two newscasters, the Martians coming. It was a television show. And because everybody's an idiot, they had a crawl running across the street. This is just a television show. It's just a television show. The Martians aren't really coming. Now, they said in 1938 or 1939, Germany was invading Poland, invading Hungary, invading. So people got scared. They were also nervous. Everyone's invading. Maybe the Martians are invading. You come up and try to rationalize why people thought the Martians were really coming. They only had radio. They didn't have television then. All right, but now we're talking about 1975, 1976, 1977, 1974. It was in the 70s, I remember. You had television. And Orson Welles did this routine in 1939, 50 years before. Do you actually think, hello, do you actually think the Martians were coming in 1975? There was a movie out, Norman Jewison, I went to see it with my parents, great movie, The Russians Are Coming, The Russians Are Coming. This was during the Cold War, you had Khrushchev, and people thought the Russians were coming. When you went to the movies, they said, "Well, the Russians are coming." People thought the Russians were coming. You're all nuts. He is the greatest showman. Our president is a fantastic showman. He says whatever he wants. Everyone goes crazy. He won. He's laughing at all of you because he won. But the point is, you could do what he did. You could do anything you want. Instead of appreciating what you have, the lifestyle, you could be a billionaire. You could be the president. Do whatever you want. You sit there and you complain. You know, Conrad Hilton said, nobody ever made money sitting in a chair. That's today's trending news. Our lovely president, President Donald Trump, I don't know his whole name, is a billionaire. We should all aspire to be billionaires and aspire to be president of the United States. You can do anything you want. You want to do whatever. You can do anything you want. So, I'll say, well, were you at that meeting with Vladimir Putin? How do you know what the hell went on? How do you know what he said? You don't know what the press writes. It's so stupid. Tune in tomorrow to what's trending with David Bronstein, the YouTube star, and subscribe because I got a lot more to say. As soon as I read the newspaper, I got a lot more to say because the paper's writing my whole blogs for me every day. Dave, the king of late night TV, YouTube star David Bronstein. Tune in, I'll tell you what's going on. I'm the only way you get the actual truth. And I'll tell you one more thing. The only newspaper where you get the real truth is the National Enquirer. It's the only paper I read. I heard the Russians are coming and the Martians are, they teamed up. I'll tune in tomorrow and subscribe to the David Bronstein trending channel. You think I know what the hell's going on, Jesus.